Hello everyone, it's Big Alski. We are in day 4, part 1. I really dislike part of this chapter. I'll get to that a little bit later on. But these guys that I'm shooting with the arrows right now, if you kill them and they fall off, I guess the blimp, since this is Dynamo's blimp, you don't get any points for that. You can go back and watch and see that I shot them. The only time you're going to get any points is if they, land in the area and you can kill them, like this guy right here. So to me, that's just kind of stupid. If they give you the ability to shoot the guys, you should be able to, get the points for it. So, I'm always trying to get that extra OT out of there. Now, there's also, some other ways to initiate the Steel on Bone. I think I might have talked about it. It's something that it's hard for me to get the hang of. I usually slide the wrong way or mess up, so I'm just kind of doing what I know works. Now, I've had some messages, people wanting to see a little bit more variety in the videos, but I think I stated at the beginning of all this that this is just a way to get through. Now the Nimpo right there, I had to use it. The slowdown was getting really bad. And, a lot of problems can happen when, you can't do what you're trying to do and then you die and have to start over. So, just use the Nimpo and, make it easy on yourself. Like I was saying, this is all about, we're just trying to get through, Ultimate Ninja by fighting every fight, or while fighting every fight. So, nothing fancy there, just, shoot the helicopter. And then here, I could have, tried to chain the Steel on Bone, but, I just wanted to show a little bit of the, jump on their heads. It's interesting that were guys closer to me, but he chose to jump towards the archer, with the X+A. But, there's a trade-off right here by jumping on their heads, getting the combos and the obliterations and all that stuff versus the Steel on Bone. Really for this purpose of just trying to get through it, I don't think it really matters. Just whatever you feel comfortable with. The bad thing about the Steel on Bone is, I think I'd even said it earlier, the guys will come and jump on you in mid-swing, and they can really do some damage later on. Now the commentary, I'm starting to repeat myself a lot, so just bear with me, because the bad part about not being, having a lot of variety and trying to get through this is it's all, pretty much the same thing. And to some extent, you have to play the same way, to get through this game, unless you're a real super skilled player and can do a lot of, fun and interesting combos and stuff like that. But, that's not me. I show a little bit of the slide Y. How to use that effectively if you want to. Of course, I miss it there. But you got to be careful of these ninjas, with the arms cut off, because they will come up towards you and suicide you. And no matter what your health bar is, an Ultimate Ninja, you're dead. One thing I could stand to work on is my counterattacks. In Ninja Gaiden Black and Ninja Gaiden 2, I was really, pretty good at the counterattacks, and that's one thing that, I'm definitely, lacking in this game. If I counterattack, it's usually by accident. And I have no problem admitting that. And that guy jumped on my head and stuck his you-know-what in my face. More of the slide Y. You know, somebody said that they enjoyed watching my skillful play, and trust me, it's not, you know, as skillful as it looks. You know, it takes a lot of patience, you know, to get through this. And you know, I think right now, you know, once you have a certain set of, you know, moves and know how to, you know, react to the enemies, you know, anybody can get through this. But you know, what it's going to take is some patience. Now there is a way to, I hear, like counter X, you know, does a lot of damage to him, but again, you know, since my counters are weak and I don't know his patterns all that well, you know, I'm just going to go with what I know. And that's kind of the bad part about the scythe, you know, that you can spam the move over and over again and, you know, get through the game. And again, you know, I don't have to play it that way, but, you know, for the purposes of this video, you know, I am going to play it that way. You know, again here, just, you know, stay aggressive, you know, so they don't hide. I still got to get that OT. You know, can't tell you how many times that's cost me, but I still do it. You know, trying to get those points. You know, there are some videos out there, and I think, again, you know, I talked about this earlier. You can sit there and flying swallow these guys. I mean, go straight at them. But I think it's a certain distance. You have to be a certain distance from it. And again, you know, I could never, you know, figure that distance out. So, you know, more of the same, tried and true. You see, I'm always trying to move. I'm always having my block on, and you know, just trying to get away from the guys. Trying to never stand in a place too long. Again, if the game's going to give you these long steel on bone chains, you know, take them while you can. I thought I'd kill that other rocket launcher guy. I really wasn't paying attention. And this was kind of bad right there. I really should have kind of grouped the guys, you know, together. And, you know, that's one thing you want to do when you have your OT. I mean, your UT ready is, you know, try to group them if you can. But here's something, you know, I'm talking about always having your block on, you know, when you get out of it. See how I just kind of stood up and didn't have my block on, and I got nailed by that guy, and I could have easily died. So again, I'll use my Nimpo when I could. Really, in order to get a lot of points, you don't want to use your Nimpo really at all. You know, which makes things, you know, a lot harder, but you know, again, that's where all the points come from. The least you can use your Nimpo, the more points you're going to get. But of course, that's going to take a lot longer to fight through. And that's where it all comes down to being patient. You know, here on this fight, just go all the way to the beginning and, you know, ignore the invisible guys up front, and then just, you know, steel and bone these guys until you can't do it anymore. Just be careful to stay a little bit back from that electrified gate or fence or whatever that is, wall. Watch how bad this goes. I mean, just a few bad mistakes and, or you know, one mistake leads to a lot of other things. Some miss X+As. You know, it doesn't take much. But I get very lucky here. I should go ahead and use my Nimpo now when I see the rocket launcher guy, but I'm still trying to jump on these guys' heads, and I had just a sliver of health left. You know, trying to get greedy, you know, almost cost me.
What are you waiting for?
Those next two fights really, I hated these fights. You know, it wasn't so much this one as it was the next one, and then I'll talk about that a little bit more. You know, I tried the shuriken, you know, bloody the guy, or shuriken and slide, and you know, it would just never catch. You know, sliding into him, knocking him off balance, and pressing Y. It's almost he had to be a certain level of bloody before it would take. It's like they would block it. See, I didn't get any points for that either, for that OT. And when those guys start walking you towards you like that, you know, you really want to get out of there, because they'll come interrupt your combo and just walk right through it sometimes. But again, trying to get that OT, but he died right before I got him. Now, I would recommend taking out the, you know, the rocket launcher guy first, and our claw trick is not going to work here. So I'm just going to jump on their head and press YY. With such an enclosed space, you know, I could have spammed the on-landing 360, you know, with the scythe and just did that, but I wanted to try something else. I mean, you can knock the guys down with the claws, and then again, you see I miss an X+A, you know, or the A to jump on his head, and you know, it all goes, you know, bad. But I try to stay level with the wall. You know, I don't want to go perpendicular. I want to stay parallel. I guess that would be the correct term. Because if you hit that wall, you'll end up bouncing kind of funny, and then they can just grab you. But again, you know, the X will, or excuse me, the Y will knock them down, but there's not enough room in there for you to Azuna drop them. At least I could never get it to work. Now in Ninja Gaiden Black, and I believe Ninja Gaiden 2, it didn't matter, you know, where you are, you could always Azuna drop somebody. But here I could never get it to work, so I wanted to, again, do this, jump on their heads, and then, you know, YY with the scythe, and just, you know, have a certain pattern. See how you hit the wall there? And boy, that could be problems, you know, because they could sit there and grab you, or, you know, something bad happen. Now I was kind of mad because I didn't get to OT that guy. And again, you know, missed my YY and got a little lucky that he didn't come back and grab me. Now see, this is dumb on my part because I killed the other one and I didn't get my OT on him. You know, these guys, you know, deserve to get an obliteration technique on him. So, you know, I'm just taking a really big chance. You know, just trying to make sure I get that. But at least I got it, so I was happy. But that, you know, those two fights right there were just very irritating to me. Because you want to also maintain a decent amount of health, you know, going into this fight coming up. Because then after that, you still have the acid pit. And I kind of run around because sometimes when you jump, you know, just out in the open, you know, those guys will be there and they'll pounce on you. They don't do much damage, but, you know, it's still a little frustrating. Now you could 360Y, kind of chain your 360 right there, and you could pick these guys up twice. And usually the second time when you pick them up, you know, that will kill them. But you could also Blade of Narides, so I wanted to sit there and kind of, you know, show, you know, both. But it's, you know, a whole lot easier to just chain the 360, you know, Y with the scythe if you're really good at it. So I wanted to mix it up a little bit and, you know, kind of cost me. See, and again, I don't understand why sometimes it picks them up and then sometimes it doesn't. Now, one thing that I don't think I've talked about is how you know, get your guard broke, you know, and kind of, you know, stagger backwards. Well, you can roll out of that, you know, so once you kind of flail your arms up or back, you know, you can sit there and just roll, or I guess dash, or whatever he does in this one, you know, so you don't get, you know, in like a big long recovery frames trying to, you know, get back on your feet again. Just roll out of it or dash out of it, whatever he does. You can see I pay a lot of attention there. But now, you know, I've kind of been doing good. You know, my health bar is not too bad, so I'm just going to, again, go back to the whole tried and true. And of course, when I say that, I mess up, you know, and get some acid in the face and then get smacked for it. I mean, it all just goes fast. It goes by so fast. I mean, it can just slowly mess you up. Just something you don't see. That's why having, you know, the good fundamentals like, you know, landing and blocking and, you know, always having that, you know, ready or thinking the worst that could happen, you know, is a good way to go. So I could have done this a lot better, and but I wanted to see where I was going to be here with my health to see if I could do this. Now the easiest way, you know, again with all of this is to, you know, chain the 360, you know, with the scythe, and really it would help me if I could do it consistently to build up a Nimpo. But I didn't want to, you know, I wanted to kind of mix it up between the 360s and the Blade of Narides. You know, the reason I tend to jump away a lot, and I want to save this UT, is because, you know, I have a hard time, you know, chaining the 360 all the time or consistently, and these guys, you know, every time I miss it, they always grab me. So I would rather jump away. Now, you really want to save your UT for this. And you know, I've had to turn around whenever I did my on landing to see if he was going to jump or not. And of course he didn't jump, but he threw his sword at me. So I'm at, you know, really dangerous health here. So I really want to be careful because I don't want to, you know, let him grab me. But again, you know, my health is slowly chipping away. And here's something I didn't even think of until I started watching the video. I mean, I don't even know if I could. There was that roll cancel or you know, that I was talking about a little earlier. You know, just roll backwards or sideways. See? But I didn't know. You know, maybe I could just jump up, go ahead and climb up. You know, I didn't even think about that while I was playing, just because I'm so used to, you know, fighting him. But I just barely made it.
Thank you for the data. And a wonderful
So here I wasn't even paying attention to that guy over there. I'm just letting him shoot me. Because I was kind of watching the people fall down in the acid, just not even thinking about it. That's how boring that Kuni climb, or however you want to say it, that's how I say it, you know, is. Now something else that I really haven't shown is using the exploding arrows. They really work on the little snake, you know, fiends or whatever. You could stand up top, you could actually go up top and, you know, shoot those guys. They tend to hide, but you know, if they, you know, poke their head out for a little bit, you can, see, I should have landed with an on-landing 360 right there when I fell out of it. And again, I missed my on-landing and just get acid in the face, you know, why not? But yeah, you could stand up there and pick those guys off, same thing, acid in the face. But again, that only works so much, you know, and it takes a really long time to do it too. Now use these guys to your advantage, you know, to where you can start, you know, killing them and be in an area where, you know, it's going to chain towards the heavier enemies. And then, you know, again, you know, watch your UT and where you can use it. So here I just have the one guy left, but I look around just to make sure. It's like the little bird teases you up there. But I just want to double check one more time, and now I'm going to flip up, go save.